Aging is one of life's inevitable truths, as natural as the rising and setting of the sun. Yet, as we step into our later years, many of us encounter a hidden challenge, a sense of being unseen, ignored, or even disrespected by the very children we devoted our lives to nurturing. It's a quiet pain that touches the hearts of countless parents, leaving them questioning their worth and purpose. But what if this struggle wasn't meant to break us, but to awaken us, to lead us deeper into the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, guiding us toward inner peace and unshakable strength? Today, on the path to Buddhist wisdom, we'll embark on a journey through these profound teachings. Together, we'll explore how to find serenity in the face of life's most personal trials and transform relationships through wisdom and compassion. By the end of this video, you'll discover not just a path to peace, but a way to inspire those around you. Let's begin with a question: what does it truly mean to grow old? Part 1: Aging, a journey of growth, not just decline. To age is to experience a profound dual transformation. On one side, our physical bodies inevitably weaken, a reminder of life's impermanence. On the other side, our emotional and spiritual landscapes evolve, often in unexpected ways. For many, this phase of life brings challenges that extend beyond physical limitations, feelings of insignificance or neglect, particularly from those we cherish most, our children. This emotional struggle is not unique to you. It is part of the shared human experience and has been a central concern of Buddhist teachings for centuries. The Buddha recognized that much of our suffering arises from attachment, our deep-rooted desire for life to conform to our expectations. He taught that clinging to how we believe relationships should unfold blinds us to the beauty of what they truly are. So, how can we embrace this wisdom and apply it to the dynamics of aging, particularly when faced with neglect or disrespect from our children? The answer lies in shifting our perspective. Aging is not merely a descent into frailty, but an opportunity for profound inner growth. It invites us to transcend the external and focus on nurturing the peace within. In the next section, we'll explore a touching story of an elderly man whose journey exemplifies this transformation. Through his experiences, you'll uncover practical insights into navigating life's later years with grace and wisdom. Part 2: The story of the elderly man. An elderly man lived a simple life in a modest home. His days were marked by solitude, broken only by the brief, distracted visits of his grown children. When they visited, their minds seemed elsewhere, occupied by their glowing phones or overwhelmed by their busy lives. This indifference left the man wondering, did I fail them as a parent? Why don't they see me now? One day, as he sat in meditation, a profound thought emerged: am I seeking their respect to fill a void within myself? This realization was a turning point. Instead of continuing to focus on his children's actions, he turned inward, beginning a journey of self-reflection and transformation. This moment captures a key Buddhist teaching: suffering often arises from clinging to expectations and attempting to control outcomes beyond our power. The man came to understand that his children's behavior was a reflection of their own lives and challenges, not a measure of his worth as a parent. By releasing his attachment to the idea that his children owed him respect or attention, he began to shift his focus. He sought peace not from the outside world but from within himself, using Buddhist principles as a guide to navigate his emotions and reclaim his serenity. This shift marked the start of a profound transformation, one that we'll explore further in the next part. Let's see how he applied reflection and mindfulness to break free from the cycle of pain and attachment. Part 3: The power of reflection. The man's journey toward inner peace began with an honest and courageous act of self-reflection. Instead of blaming his children or wallowing in self-pity, he turned inward to examine his own life with clarity and compassion. He asked himself deep and probing questions, not to assign blame but to cultivate understanding. Have I lived in a way that inspires respect? Did I demonstrate compassion? Or did I merely demand it? In his reflections, he recalled moments of anger and impatience during his years of parenting. He saw times when he had fallen short of his own ideals. Yet, alongside these memories, he also acknowledged his sacrifices, the late nights, the unwavering support, the love he gave unconditionally. He recognized that his journey as a parent was not perfect, but it was deeply human. This balanced view of his flaws and virtues brought him a profound sense of clarity. For the first time, he could see his actions without judgment. This act of self-awareness mirrors a timeless teaching in Buddhism: transformation begins with understanding, not condemnation. Through reflection, the man realized that his longing for his children's respect was tied to an expectation that they should honor him simply because of the role he played in their lives. This unspoken demand had been a silent source of pain, binding him to feelings of disappointment. By examining these expectations, he began to loosen their hold. He understood that true respect, like love, cannot be forced, it must grow naturally, nurtured by example and authenticity. This insight was the first step in releasing his attachment to the idea of what his children should do or feel. With a lighter heart, he was ready to take the next step, embracing the practice of non-attachment, the cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom. Let's explore how this practice transformed his life in the next section. Part 4: Practicing non-attachment. As the man reflected on his journey, he realized that the pain he felt was rooted in attachment, his expectation that his children's actions should align with his hopes. This realization led him to embrace one of Buddhism's most profound teachings: non-attachment. But what does it mean to practice non-attachment? And how can it transform our relationships? In the evenings, as the world around him grew quiet, the man began a simple yet powerful practice. He would sit in meditation, focusing on his breath, and repeat the mantra: "My children's actions are their own karma. My peace is my responsibility." At first, this practice felt difficult. His mind would wander back to memories of disappointment, to questions about where he might have gone wrong. But with each session, the mantra became an anchor, pulling him back to the present moment. Over time, he noticed a shift within, a lightness, as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his heart. Non-attachment, he learned, is not about indifference or apathy. It does not mean we stop caring about our loved ones or withdraw from relationships. Instead, it means finding joy, peace, and contentment within ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. To illustrate, imagine holding a delicate flower in your hands. You admire its beauty, but you do not clutch it tightly, knowing that it is fragile and fleeting. You appreciate it for what it is, in the moment, without trying to control its existence. This mindset, when applied to relationships, brings profound freedom. The man's practice of non-attachment transformed how he viewed his children. He no longer sought validation or respect from them to feel complete. Instead, he found a deep and abiding peace within himself, a peace that was unshakable, no matter how others behaved. As his inner transformation took root, his outward actions also began to change. He approached his children with a new energy, not one of expectation, but of unconditional love. This shift, as we'll see in the next section, created a ripple effect that would touch the hearts of those around him. Let's continue this journey of transformation in Part 5. Part 5, Unconditional Love, a Gift. Not a transaction. With his newfound sense of inner peace, the man experienced a profound revelation. Love is not a transaction. It is not something we give with the expectation of receiving something in return. Instead, true love is a gift freely offered, without conditions. One afternoon, while walking in the park, he noticed a young child learning to walk. The child wobbled unsteadily, arms flailing for balance, and the parents stood nearby, arms outstretched, ready to catch them if they fell. Watching this tender scene, the man smiled, recalling the days when his own children were that small. It struck him that, just as those parents gave their child support without expecting thanks or acknowledgement, he too could offer love without strings attached. From that day forward, the man chose to love his children unconditionally. When they visited, he greeted them with warmth and joy, regardless of their mood or the length of their stay. When they didn't visit, he sent them silent blessings, wishing them happiness and peace in their busy lives. This shift in his approach wasn't about suppressing his feelings or pretending he didn't care about their behavior. Instead, it was about letting go of the need for their actions to validate his worth. He embraced the Buddhist teaching that true compassion flows freely, unburdened by expectation. Unconditional love became his guiding principle, and it had a transformative effect. By removing the weight of obligation from his relationships, he allowed space for genuine connection to blossom. His children began to sense the change in him. The tension and unspoken demands that had once filled their interactions faded, replaced by an atmosphere of calm and acceptance. This change did not happen overnight, nor did it completely mend every relationship. Some of his children remained distant, absorbed in their own lives. But this no longer troubled him. He had come to understand that love is its own reward. By offering it freely, he found joy, regardless of how it was received. Unconditional love, as the man discovered, is one of the most powerful forces we can bring into our relationships. It frees us from the pain of unmet expectations and opens the door to deeper, more authentic connections. In the next section, we'll explore how the man's newfound peace began to ripple outward, touching the lives of those around him in unexpected ways. Part 6, The Ripple Effect of Inner Peace. As the man's transformation took root, a quiet but profound shift began to occur. His newfound calmness, born from self-reflection and unconditional love, started to radiate outward. Inner peace, like a stone dropped into a still pond, creates ripples that touch everything in its path. The man's serenity became a beacon that others couldn't help but notice. One day, during a rare family gathering, his eldest child approached him with a curious yet thoughtful expression. They asked, "Father, you seem so different these days, so peaceful. What changed?" The man smiled and replied simply, "I stopped waiting for the world to bring me peace and found it within myself." This response, spoken without bitterness or expectation, struck a chord. It planted a seed in his children's hearts, a quiet realization that perhaps there was something they could learn from their father's journey. Slowly, they began to see him in a new light. The man no longer sought their respect or attention, and this lack of pressure made their interactions feel lighter, more genuine. Visits that had once been fleeting and obligatory grew longer and more heartfelt. Conversations deepened. His children, who had been so consumed by their own lives, started to ask questions about his well-being, his thoughts, and his philosophy. It was as though his calm demeanor had created a safe space for them to reconnect, not out of guilt or duty, but out of genuine curiosity and affection. Still, not all of his children returned. Some remained distant, caught up in their own struggles. Yet, this no longer troubled the man. He had learned one of life's most profound lessons: respect and connection cannot be forced. They bloom naturally, like flowers, when nurtured with patience and understanding. The man's transformation didn't just affect his family. Friends and neighbors, too, began to notice his change. His calm and compassionate presence became a source of inspiration. People sought him out for advice, drawn to the quiet strength that he now carried with him. His peace became contagious, spreading to those around him in ways he could never have predicted. This ripple effect demonstrates a core Buddhist teaching: when we cultivate peace within ourselves, we influence the world around us more powerfully than we realize. As the man discovered, true transformation starts from within, and its impact extends far beyond what we can see. In the next section, we'll extract the timeless lessons from this story, offering practical steps to help you embody these teachings in your own life. Let's explore how you, too, can become a source of light and inspiration for those around you. Part 7: Lessons for all of us. The story of the elderly man offers profound lessons that transcend time, culture, and personal circumstance. It speaks to the heart of what it means to live with wisdom, compassion, and inner strength, even in the face of life's most challenging relationships. Let's reflect on the key takeaways from his journey and how they apply to all of us. 1. Reflect without judgment. The man's transformation began with honest self-reflection. He looked at his past actions, not to assign blame or dwell on guilt, but to understand himself better. In doing so, he saw both his imperfections and his virtues clearly. Lesson: take time to reflect on your relationships and actions. Ask yourself, have I lived in a way that inspires love and respect? Be compassionate with yourself as you acknowledge both your strengths and shortcomings. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth. 2. Let go of expectations. One of the most significant shifts in the man's journey was releasing his attachment to how he believed his children should behave. By doing so, he freed himself from the pain of unmet expectations. Lesson: expectations often create disappointment and resentment. Instead of clinging to what others should do, focus on accepting them as they are. This mindset allows for more authentic and fulfilling connections. 3. Practice loving kindness. The man chose to love his children unconditionally, greeting them warmly when they visited and sending blessings when they didn't. He learned that love, when given freely, is its own reward. Lesson: offer love without expecting anything in return. Extend compassion even to those who hurt you. This practice not only strengthens relationships but also brings peace to your own heart. 4. Cultivate inner peace. Through meditation and mindfulness, the man found an unshakable calm within himself. This inner peace became the anchor that guided him through life's storms. Lesson: inner peace is not something the world gives you, it's something you create within. Cultivate it through practices like meditation, gratitude, or prayer. Let your peace be the foundation of your strength. 5. Lead by example. The man's transformation inspired his children and others around him. By embodying kindness, patience, and wisdom, he became a living example of the values he cherished. Lesson: actions speak louder than words. Live in a way that reflects your principles. When others see your peace and strength, they will be drawn to your light. 6. Accept what cannot be changed. the man understood that not all of his children would return his love or respect. This acceptance freed him from unnecessary suffering. Lesson: life will not always unfold as we wish. Accepting reality as it is, rather than resisting it, allows us to respond with grace and wisdom. These lessons remind us that our relationships, no matter how difficult, are opportunities for growth. By applying these teachings, we can transform not only our interactions with others but also the way we perceive ourselves and the world. In the final section, we'll explore practical steps you can take to embody these lessons in your daily life. Let's turn these profound insights into meaningful action. Part 8: Practical Steps for Transformation. The wisdom of the elderly man's journey offers us a roadmap for navigating life's challenges with grace and mindfulness. To truly embody these teachings, here are some actionable steps you can integrate into your daily life. 1. Daily mindfulness practice. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Let go of any lingering attachments or expectations. As thoughts arise, observe them without judgment and gently return to the present moment. Why it works: this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and centered, even in difficult situations. 2. Start a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as a kind word, a good meal, or the warmth of the sun. Why it works: gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, fostering a sense of contentment. 3. Practice acts of loving kindness. Perform small, thoughtful gestures without expecting anything in return. It could be a kind word to a stranger, a helping hand to a friend, or sending silent blessings to someone who has hurt you. Why it works: loving kindness softens your heart and helps build deeper connections with others. 4. Seek wisdom. Read books or listen to teachings from Zen and Buddhist masters. Their insights provide guidance for navigating life's challenges with clarity and compassion. Why it works: these teachings serve as reminders of the bigger picture and help ground you in timeless truths. 5. Connect with a community. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals who value mindfulness, compassion, and inner peace. Join a meditation group or engage in meaningful discussions with others who share your values. Why it works: a supportive community reinforces your practices and provides encouragement during difficult times. 6. Embrace impermanence. Meditate on the transient nature of life. Hold a mental image of a beautiful flower and reflect on how its beauty is fleeting. Practice appreciating it in the moment without clinging to it. Why it works: this mindset helps you let go of control and accept life as it unfolds. 7. Be the example. In every interaction, strive to embody kindness, patience, and wisdom. Let your actions inspire others to seek peace within themselves. Why it works: living by example is often the most powerful way to influence those around you. By incorporating these practices into your life, you'll not only find inner peace but also create a ripple effect that inspires those around you. The elderly man's story reminds us that transformation begins within. And when we nurture our inner light, it has the power to illuminate the lives of others. A call to action: join us on this journey. If this story and its teachings resonated with you, don't let it stop here. On the path to Buddhist wisdom, we explore profound insights like these to help you live a life of peace, clarity, and compassion. Sparkles, subscribe to our channel today for more inspiring stories and practical wisdom. Click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Share your reflections or let us know what topics you'd like us to cover in the comments section. Let's grow and learn together. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until next time. May you find serenity within yourself and radiate that peace to the world. Person with praying hands sparkles.